Ah, okay, folks. So today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. Oops, this has come loose. Just give me that second. Now, my plan for today is I'm just going to put a whole lot of shades and tones on the canvas and see where it ends up. I'm going to just going to be open-minded with it today. Put stuff on and see what happens. It's very hard to say that you don't have anything in mind. Very difficult to say that. I do have a vision of something in mind. It's just a bit of a waterworks here and some trees on either side and then a distant hedgerow or something. But we'll see. So we'll get going. I'm going to create some darks here. I'm going to create those darks, just give me a second. I'm going to create those darks with some phthalo green and oxide red. Transparent oxide red. Now that for some reason this has gotten all oily. So let me just wipe my hands off here. Right, so I'm going to start at the start. White spirits. Liquid original, lamp black, cerulean blue, ultramarine blue, titanium white, transparent oxide red, raw umber, cadmium yellow, cadmium red, and phthalo green. And today on the canvas I have, or on the easel, I have a 16x12 canvas. On extra fine cotton stuff. Anyway, right, okay. So let's get some darks up. Let's begin. There's some raw umber. Let's get it nice and wet as well, folks. So, raw umber with some transparent oxide red and then a good amount of green. That'll help give us some nice dark colors to begin with. We'll get some ultramarine blue in there too. So let me see, right. See how I look at the colors and the shades that creates. I'm absolutely wonderful. Now thinning it out like this allows me to come along in however long, 20 or 30 minutes time, and allows me to come along and go over it. It'll be dry enough for me to work on. So that's why white spirits is very handy. As I say, nothing particular in mind. I do have some visions, so I'm not completely dead. But I do have some idea of what I'm going to put up here. That red really knocks that green back. That's a very powerful green. And the red really knocks it back. Actually, quite a lovely green. Nice and strong. So let me see now. I'm going to have some two embankments here. That's what I'm seeing so far. Alright, and I'll bring this one down, make the plane of this one a little bit closer to us and this one a little bit further away. I'll bring them in a bit as well. I don't want all of that to be the water. And then I'll have a horizon up along here. Right, okay. So that's going to be the horizon. This is going to be the edges of the trees. I'm going to put in some sky in along here somewhere. Right, so if I'm going to do that, then let's do it. There's plenty of cadmium yellow there, as you can see. Get that rolled in there. Now all that's happening here, folks, is I'm just trying to create a shape. distance in my mind, just see what comes of it. There now. Now I know that's in the distance, so I'm just putting a little bit of blue in it just to separate it. Now we'll have the reflections coming along here. So nice warm reflections. There we go. This can do for the waterworks. Alright, let's get some oranges going. It's cadmium red and some yellow. I'm not purposefully working fast, I have to say. It might seem like I'm working fast, but I'm not really. Not purposefully working fast. I just like to be on the go sometimes, you know. Let me see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe out that mark that I left. Okay, in here. So let's get rid of it. There we go. Now I can use a little bit of that color with some titanium white to create a brighter area of the sky. I'll use a bit of a different brush for it, just nice soft brush. Oh, I just hit the knee. Anyway, so because this is titanium white, I'm going to use a little bit of liquid. And let me get up in here, and it'll create the nice. I'm already using what's on the palette here. It has a little bit of harmony. It helps with it. Okay. Now, I also know the way things go that I'm going to put a little bit of the sky down in here. So I might as well do it while I'm at it. And this is just the nature of the work. I just know that I'm going to put some sky in here. There we go. I don't know about you, but I can already see something there. So to my mind, what needs work on is darkening the areas here. And then I'm working on this area here. So let's do that. Just going to wipe a little bit of this off. Let's work on this area here. Now for some reason, this canvas is all bubbling up. I don't know why. It's not like it to work this way. So it's not. A little bit of blue as I'm coming further down. Just to create a gradient of green. I don't like this canvas at all, the way it's behaving. Right, now hopefully that should help it a bit anyway. What was I doing there? Right. Okay, a little bit of this green here. This will help create a nice gradient in the background. As I'm coming down further, just a little bit more and a little bit more. I don't want it cool, so I'm going to put a little bit of cerulean on it to help cool it down a wee bit, because ultramarine is a warmish blue. I know it sounds strange, but it is what it is. Just creating that nice gradient going on here. A little bit more yellow, I think. Not being afraid of it. Okay. It gives us that background now, and that's quite nice. Now all of that, of course, I will come back and work with. So just softening the edges, because this is fairly in the distance. I don't want there to be too much sharp edges, if any at all. All right. So let's work in here. Let's get these, the darker areas done here. Let's see, a little bit of that black just to help get this down. Get it nice and dark. A bit of heat in it because the light is passing through it. So And there will be cool areas in it too, of course. Right, so there. Now this is the reflection, so I'm just going to bring them all down into one. I don't know what is up with this thing today. Maybe it's just the way it's been taped down. I don't get it today at all. And it's disturbing me, and I don't like it. Tell you what, I'll be back in a minute. I'm just going to fix this up. Well, hopefully that'll do it, folks. I've just pinned it. Just pin. I don't know why it's warbling so much. I'm got a new wee system going on here, and I'm suspecting it's the masking tape. But we'll see. Right, back to it again, folks. So, a little bit of lamp black, some red to get some heat in here. Now remember, this is the reflections here. So keep them all going in a relatively the one direction, because they're going to be a little bit blurry and running with the water, as it were. So some coolness in it, a little bit of blue, a little bit of red here and there. Bumpity bump, bumpity bump, bump, bump. Okay, that's great. There we go. Now let me see. I see him over here. A little bit bluer. Let's cool this down. This one over here, eh? Let's just see. Now let me see. Okay. Yeah, all right. It's right to the edges this time now, all right? So now I can stand back and look and see what I have here. Now, let's start just pinning it down for now. I'm going to get some of the water done in here and put in a little bit of the sky, just as a nod to me a little bit later that this is where things are going to be here. Okay, and as I move further down, it's going to get a little bit brighter and so on and so on. Now, most of this is going to be covered up. A little bit of red in it, actually, just to help it. Okay. Nice purplish reflection in here. Oh, it swings and roundabouts at times with this sort of. Right, okay. I want to bring in some of the reflections in here, so I'm careful not to go too far over here. Like, that will do for now. So it will. I don't know if this will be done in one sitting today, but I suspect it may well be. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not there yet to decide what it's going to be. I had it on. That's a bit. I think it's a bit too dark down here. We'll wipe a little bit of this out. Yeah, we'll wipe it out before I paint on it. So let me see. Now the canvas is behaving a little bit better from what I've just done there. So I'm a bit happier with the way it's going now. Right, anyway. Now let me see. Now this is it. I'm working here on this. Let's get a gradient going here from the top of it down to the bottom of it. Because we're in the water here, so it's all going to be blurry and soft-ish. Let me see, where do I think I am right now? Pumpity pump. I'm going to have some water coming, or some sand coming in along these areas here. And I'm just going to mark for it now. Okay. Now, what should I put here? I think I don't want a row of bushes here on this side and then a row of bushes on this side. I think I'm going to put a tree or two, just to, yeah. Still thinking, not quite there yet. Let me see. Let me just at least get some of these edges in here. Get that nice and soft edge going on up here, and the same over here too. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to soften everything up, and that will allow me to come along. I say soften, I don't mean blend. It'll allow me to step back and have a look to see the way things are when it's nice and soft, and then I can decide where I'm going to lay the detail. There's a good wee trick for you folks. If you're just laying down your background, you can soften it up, and that'll give you a sense of where you want to lay your detail. I wouldn't say it was a trick, I'd say a lot of people do it that way. I'm not blending, I'm just gently touching the canvas here. Alright, that gives us some nice gradients. I'm going to use a different brush to do the center of it here. Just use all these wee font brushes. Ach no. Use one of these here. There now. I'll go up into the sky in a moment, so. Okay. Now, come up into the sky, just softening these edges. I don't want too much of a gradient, because you should see some things going on there, so you should. Alright, let's start taking things away and adding certain things. Okay, so let me see. I'm going to do that using brushes. And I'm going to have this water coming right across here. I just heard what I said. I won't do that using brushes. What I meant was I'm going to put a little bit of spirits on a dry brush, and then just go in and lift it, if you know what I mean. I'm not sure what I'm there is put a little bit of spirits on it, put it here, and then remove it. Hopefully that makes sense. Dear goodness. Right, let's see. Let's get this area here done. And while I'm here, I want that to be a bit darker. So I'll do just here. Help create that. There. Now I'm going to go for a little row of trees here. Just along here. And it's going to be hit by the light. Now, if you've noticed, I've hardly touched the liquid today. This is all basically white spirits. have to be careful here. I don't want this to be too bright. Nice and dark in here and bright at the front. But for now, I'll just lay. Oh, I'll just lay this down for now. It will act as a background for this row of trees. Or this row of bushes. Okay, and the same up in here. Creating a differential up here. Oh, here now. I'm just going to remove a little bit up here, just a little bit. Okay. Now what it will allow me to do, if I can find the brush to do it, let's come on and put in a tree stump, or a tree trunk, sorry. Just along here. Another nice thick one there, just. Okay. Now, here's a bit of a trick for you, is to get yourself a nice straight edge from a palette knife, something like that. You want to use paint scrapers, and then let's put in some actual trees here. I have messed up by getting the wrong color on the brush. It's an easy fix. But let me see here. Okay, a little bit thicker. A little bit thicker still. I'll use a different brush for this. Use a round brush. It is relatively new. I can't find one. I can't find one. Or use this flat brush then. Okay, let's see now. I don't want this all to be exact. So, there now. That is a bit too exact for me, so it is. So, maybe. Okay, not so bad now. Right. So, yeah, I'm going to put a nice large tree in here. Why? Because I just want one. Simple as that. I just fancy it being in there. I'm going to lay down a little bit of this here. Right. Now I'm actually going, while I have this brush, I'm just going to indicate the water level for myself. Okay. All right. I hope you can see a lot of that, folks. Now, I'm going to do the same here about removing something. Just a little bit of mineral spirits. Take and put a little bit of mineral spirits on it. Take it over to your cloth and wipe it off. And there still should be enough, which actually there is too much. This is the wiping off method. Okay. There is a bit too much there, but I can work with it. Just spread it around a bit. And then I'll give myself that moment to dry. So I'll do this with it, and then I'll leave that alone for a minute or two. Okay. Now I'm going to signify this here as well for some of the land area along here. Just putting it in. Just till I see, this is giving me the idea of a composition, and nothing is finalized at all here. Just having a look to see what I think of it. All right. Right, let's just work a tiny bit on. Bit on these reflections down here. Just brightening the edges of it up. I just find it a bit too dark there. Nice and gently now. I'm already in here, so I'm just going to go nice and easy. Not take over a little bit in there. Okay, that's not so bad. I just wipe a little bit off the brush and then go at it again. Just letting that blend in. I'm unsure about this whole masking tape thing. I think it's drawing the canvas in and creating bubbles on it, so I don't know, and I've went and ordered a whole load of this stuff, but we'll see. Anyway, this is close enough to drying. As you can see, it's just a few moments. So let's get that color back in here, just this here, and that'll allow me to come along and put some trees over the top of this. There we go. All right. So nice thick brown brush here. I want a softish one. I don't want a harsh one. So nice large round brush. A little bit of white spirits in it. And let's see where we are here. I think I'm just going to free draw this one in, just to create a different shape. All right. Okay. A little bit thicker at the base, or twice as thick at the base would be better. And then as I'm coming up, I'm just following it and just getting thinner and thinner as we come up to the top, and then off we go. You know what, I think I want that to be a bit thicker as well. So 3 times as thick as I'd begun with. Alright, there we go, nice thick tree. Another 1 or 2 in here, I think. Let me see. All I'm doing here is just indicating for them. So, yeah, I'm just going to freehand the whole lot of these here. Nice thick trees. And I'm going to create a nice thick top to it. Now you're thinking, but trees don't get thicker as they go up. And they do if they have sticking out branches, so I'll just put a little bit of highlight in there, and that'll thicken that branch out a bit. That's another wee trick for you. if you see what I mean, I'll just come along. I'll just highlight in here, and that'll create as if it's splitting off. There's another one in here, but I think this one a bit brighter. But it's up in the dark there. So a grayish red for a trunk. And let me see, I'm directly behind the camera here, so it's not easy for me to see what's going on. There we'll go, up in there. And then I'll lose it in the canopies whenever I put the canopies on. Okay, and this is just for me to see what I'm doing. All I'm going to do is put a little bit of an edge on it here. And the same here. If it will go on, that is. Alright. So for now, that's not too bad. Nice and colourful, very impactful, I think. So let me just mess around with some blending here. And I want to do it while you blend and stick to this. Just wiping this off. And now I'm just going to work in here. Now though this here is relatively dry, but this white is nowhere near dry. Some liquid in it, but it's still nowhere near it. Alright, now a good bit of that will be covered up with the all the water reflections and the water ticks and the little bits of land here and there. I'm just looking and seeing here to bring this water over a little bit. See, for me, this is actually the very enjoyable part of this type of painting. As you're making it up as you go along. It's quite nice. So it is. Right, let's bring this water in behind these trees here. See? In there, and then a little bit along there, just. I'll break that up when the time comes. Okay. So I'm just going to get a cotton bud here and start adding a little bit of this and a little bit of, or removing a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Just that'll help add the details. This is a rough piece today, folks. Right, let me see. There's plenty of reflections down in here. Oh, there is. There's the next one there, just straight down. Okay, now let me see this. We got another one. I don't mix it up. I'll put a little bit of sky in here as well. I'll try this this masking tape thing again. See, my idea was to get a nice. I got a suggestion from what do you call it? A viewer, to put masking tape on it because it looks unfinished. But the masking tape seems to be warping the canvas. I'm not sure if it's going to work. I'll try it a few times, and my idea was then to have a reveal at the end, pulling off the masking tape. But the masking, it seems to be pulling it in. But anyway, it is what it is. I could make a wee pin-up canvas to go over now and still mess up the edges. Anyway. So let's get them, oops, daisy. Let's get this in here. Just want to put this sky in down around the bottom here. Just in here and here. Now let me see. How well did that work? I'm not sure if it worked well at all. Just soften the edges. There, that's fine. Oh, that's good. Happy enough with that. Now, a lot of this here will be covered over with the land that I have in my mind to put on it. But first, let me just... Some of it that still isn't working. That's too grey. I need to get the proper tones and colours on this one here before I move any further. A nice orange, nice orangey cream colour, just to go up in here. A little bit of liquid, or a lot of liquid, because I'm up in here because I'm using white. I'll maybe have to wait till this dries, or wipe it off. Simple as that. Just be gentle with it, so I'm not entirely, and then I will just work it in. Work out the colour that's already there, just work it in. See, there's another little trick for you. Okay. For now, where are we? Where are we? I want this to have a bit more of a slant to it. Right, but I also want those trees to be a bit more apparent. So not so much white spirits in it now. I think this is the wrong brush. Let me see, I'll get a nice wee beat up brush here. And do I have white? Oh, I do have white. I knew I had this out. Little bit of liquid, just to get it moving a little bit on the brush, and then just dab it in. And that's not kind of, it's not working for me. So it's not. There we go. It's a bit. Yeah, I'm not happy with that at all. Right, I'm just going to paint it in. So, big brush. Painting it in now, folks. And what I mean, obviously I'm not doing the whole thing as a paint, but I'm just going to use a traditional paintbrush and just mark it in. Like so. And it's working a bit better now, so it is. Now, as I'm coming over the edges here, it's going to get a little bit darker, but I'm still going to put this in, and then I'm going to knock it back. I'm putting that brightness in, and then I'll knock it back with a little bit of a blend in here, just. You see how that works? I think we are getting there with that. Aye, okay. It's nice enough now. I'll darken a few areas in it. Oh, you miss. Nice bit of a darker area here. a little bit of green and phthalo green, and just create some darker patches in here. Now phthalo green will help cool it out a wee bit too. Very nice gradient in there. Oh, you see? Okay. In fact, while I'm here, let's see if this works, eh? I'll just brighten it a little bit. Let's see if this works. Try not to get too much on the brush, and let me just see here. Nice and gently, nice and gently, nice and gently. For now. Right. There's still a good bit to go, folks. I think I might be going to have myself a wee coffee in a moment or two, and then I'll come back to it. I'm going to try and finish it today in one sitting. Well, we'll see. So let's get some. I'm just going to create myself some of the reflections here that I need. Probably not bright enough, but we'll see. A little bit more yellow, a little bit more white, but a nice-ish reflection. Let me see this here. Now my hand is in the way. Okay. Now I'm going to put the same color over here, but I'm going to work it in. It's going to become part of this. So as you see here, now this very big bulge in the middle of this canvas. So now, let me see if I can fix that. It's throwing off the stroke a little bit. Yeah. I don't think that that's going to do it. I normally don't have this problem with the canvas, so I don't. But I'm just going to have to deal with it. Right. Okay. So I'm going to work this in. I'm just going to be gentle with the canvas. And that will help, as you can see, just create some reflections that are slightly darker than those reflections. Now, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to create this under bit of soil here. So, in order to create that color, so a little bit of raw umber and some cadmium red, and then a bit of blue. Let me see. Now I wanted, because of these overhangs here, or the shade, I wanted to get this to get gradually darker as it's going towards them. So I want to see how bright this is. For the time being, it's fine. Okay. All right. Okay. Now let's darken this up. Just in here. A little bit more. And create a nice gradient there. I'm doing a lot of the blending, as you can see, on the canvas. And then you see that gradient ahead. It helps sell the illusion that there's a bit of land there. And let's go a little bit. Let me see, what color do I'll get a bit of red into it here. A little bit of an orange color too. Let me see, and just there we go. And then I can make it this a gradient. Oh, that's nice enough now. Right, taking that off my brush, wiping it off, and then I'm just going to gently, gently, gently make that a gradient. There we go. And there is the illusion of a little bit of land, a little bit of soil there, just going up into the embankment. Now, I think, as I say, I think I'll take a little bit of a break. I'll come back. My hands need it cleaned, and I'll come back and I'll finish it off. Yeah, I think I want these here fixed a little bit better, but it's all part of it. Oh, so I'll see you all soon enough. No, you know what? No. Before I go, I might as well work on something that's slightly bugging me here. Just this here. Get this in. This in here. Just, this is where maybe see the tree reflection. Maybe, I don't know. In here. Right, okay. Will do for the time being. Be back in 10 minutes or so. Alright, folks. I just had myself a wee coffee there. So let's get some areas in here done. Now, hold on. I was sitting out the back. And my eyes haven't climatized. Everything is green at the moment. It's quite sunny where I am, which is unusual. But everything is green at the moment. Right, so I'll just give myself a moment to let me eye catch up here. Let's fix these up first. Fix these trees up. All right. Okay. Okay. All right, so just gonna fix these up a little bit. Wasn't too happy with them. But these are easy jobs, quite easy actually. So let me see now. Let's get some light into this into this part of the sky here. So I'm just going to remove a little bit. Really gently. I don't want to be... That helps create some light in there. Right, so let's get the light going. A little bit darker, a little bit warmer than what's in the sky. And I'm just going to be putting that behind the trees. A good bit of liquid. Let's see here. That's all right. That's okay. Maybe a little bit more yellow. My eyes haven't quite adjusted yet. I'm still seeing things a wee bit off. But I know what I'm doing. Hopefully I know what I'm doing anyway. Well, let's see. Right, okay. Just going to be careful here, as I say, my eyes haven't quite fully adjusted yet. But I'm just going to be gentle with what I'm putting down for now. Let's just take the edges off this. Nice and gently. Make it a wee bit of that bouquet look going on there. Bokeh, not bouquet. Right, the same on this side here. And I'm just being a bit cautious about how I'm doing it. I don't want it to, I'm going to put another branch on this tree here. So just creating that, the conditions for that now. Oops, daisy, that's not good. Let me just take some of that off. I have a wee dog out the back is busy today, isn't he? Hopefully, I'll be able to remove that sound. You'll see. Right. Just apply this here with a bit of a sharper edge on it. As I say, the state of the canvas at the minute, I'm not happy with the way it's just bulbous here and there. It's making it difficult to create lines along this area here. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll maybe forgo the tape part of it if it continues to warp the canvas like this. Right, anyway. So, I'm going to go and close this back door. It's too warm to close the back door. I think I'll just grin and bear it. It's just a wee dog doing his wee barking, that's all. Okay, now a little bit down in the water here. You know what, folks? I think I'm going to remove all of this masking tape. I think it's done its job now anyway. You can't see it, but it's very, very warbly and bubbly in the middle. I'm just gonna remove. Well, hopefully that's it. But I fear that the damage has been done in the warping of it. Anyway, right, so can't complain too much about it. Let's get some of this land. I'm just gonna work here and there and there and here just till I see what I want. So a nice off color, and I'm just knocking this purple back with a little bit of yellowy green. That will help grey it out a touch. I think I'll maybe make it a little bit more red. Ooh, far too much. Anyway, let's see now. It's just working a nice bluish bit of landscape here. Let's see. All right. I'm gonna take you up into there. Take that up into there and see. Okay, now let's add a little bit of titanium white just to brighten up this area of it here. And let's see here. As if the light is passing through these trees. Okay, a little bit brighter, and well, while I've got it on this here, may as well keep doing what I'm doing while I have it here. Right, now a little bit brighter in certain areas. We're now coming out into the light here. Don't want it to get too grey either. I want this to have a nice pinky saturation to it. Hi, just going to be bringing this across. All right. Let me see. I'll go ahead and put in some canopies here. And to do that, just use a little bit of a brush. Okay. Let me see here now. Bit too bright, I think. That's all. Just grey it out and yeah, it's creating the odd. Trying to be pretty rough with this now, because the whole, as you can see, the whole painting is not. It's not set up to be a fine painting, so it's not. It's not what I'm going for today. Let's create some canopies. Is all I'm doing. So a little bit of a darker underbelly for some of these canopies in here, especially, and in here. Okay, and let me see a little bit of a darker tonish here, just to create that sense of that there's some heft to it. You know, there's a three-dimensionality to the whole thing. No, I'll just go ahead and put some highlights on it, just here and there. I don't want too much on this brush, but I'm just a little bit here, a little bit there. Just roll it on. A little bit up here, a little bit more than that. A little bit here too. Give me the idea that there's some canopies falling down here. No. Can't be having it too bright in certain areas, you know. Now, this here has happened by accident. You see that? That streak there? That looks like there's something. I'm not going to mess around with that too much, so I'm just going to keep that. I quite like the way that has come about. But I'm going to remove some, just some color in here. You see, look at that. That brightens it up a bit. All I'm doing there is creating a little bit of just a little bit of textures here and there. Just same over on this side. Just barely touching the canvas. I'm just lifting it off a little bit. So yeah, that's all. A nice flicky one there, and another one up there. Okay, now let us do this one over here while we're on this yellow. So this here, just create the highlights. Don't mess around with it, just put it in. And you don't need to do much here. Now, a lot of this is going to get knocked back. And it's just rolling this on, just the shapes that I want, and then I will knock it back whenever the time comes. Alright, and the time is now. So let's just create a nice wee gradient here. Probably a bit too much there, methinks. That's fine. Let's knock all of this back in here. I don't want there to be too bright in there. So alright, a little bit of darkness. Hello. I was about to do the song there. Hello, darkness, and all of that. Have to be so careful what you can do these days. Very restrictive in that time, so it is. Doesn't seem to be any freedom at times. Can't even sing a song. Anyway, it's not my song. There we go. That's what I'm after. Just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Now where's my wee flat brush? What have I done with my wee flat brush? I can't find it. I can't find it. Right, okay, I'm up at there we go. Find it. Right. Now, let's see here. Let's create some highlights on this tree here. Or on these trees. So a nice bright one actually, because it's right here, so it is. It's right where the sun is at it. So it should have a nice bright. And the same with this one here too. In certain areas, not the whole way through it. In certain areas, just to brighten it up, catch your eye as it were. See? No, I forgot to go ahead and put this other one in. And I will do it now. Right here. That's all. Just let it go up into the canopy and get lost in the canopy there. Now, let me brighten up this area. So at this stage, I'm cleaning I'm not cleaning the brush. It's the wrong term. I'm wiping the brush and wiping the brush and wiping the brush over and over and over again. At this stage. And the reason I'm not entirely cleaning it is because I don't think it's necessary to clean the brush that often on landscapes. I really don't actually think it's very necessary at all. Because I think, anyway, I think it's actually detrimental. Because you're trying to create a harmony in most landscapes. And the way to do that is to create them similar colors, using similar tones. And then if you keep what's on the brush, and all you're doing is adding a little bit of that, what was already on the brush, just a bit of it. You're adding it back onto the canvas. Now this area here is a bit wonky looking. I'm going to slightly change this a wee bit here. It's not too bad. It's just, I think it may be a little bit more of a bluish, grayish thing in here. It's all right. Sometimes you can be a bit too judgmental, you know. Can hear yourself, or can hear myself, just going on and on about, oh, it's not right here, is that right? But and then there's sometimes when it's very helpful to have that, or else you'd never get anything done at times. Okay, now I'm going to start adding in the reflections, or not the reflections, the ripples in the water. One of my favorite ways of doing it is with these. Yeah, I like it. I'm just dragging it across what's there, because what's already on the palette will be reflecting here anyway. So some big ones to begin with. Look at that. That's not nice now, isn't it? Just work this one in a little bit. Bit too much came off it for my liking, but that's fine. Nah, it worked out all right. So that is, I'm going to do the same with this area here, but nice and bright and grayish. That's just to change the nice color of it all up, you know. And so I'm going to work this in here. I think I'll use a smaller one. Give me a slight bit more control in this area here. I'm going to put a good amount of this on and just play with it. Just working it in. This should help create a nice rough texture here, so it should. Well, wee dog, he doesn't have. Say a lot, doesn't he? Alright, so let's see now. See now what's down already is a little bit tacky. There's a lot of mineral spirits was used in it. So it allows this to stick quite well. Well, it does. Alright. Now, it might be a bit bright, but I'll work it in. So I'll work it in. Just fade that off into the back there. And as I say, I'll work it in, and this'll be me working it in now. Just creating that little bit of lawn there. Slightly different colour than you would normally get, but that's what I was after. Okay, let me see that. Let's create a slightly darker. I want it slightly darker in the back here. That's where we are. That's where a lot of light isn't reaching it there at this point. So it shouldn't be too bright up in here. Just the odd bright patch is fine, but as in it's breaking through the trees, that's fine. But not the whole thing. I'll just put a wee bright patch in here. There we go. Alright, so I don't know how much I am done here. But I'm getting there. I think a little bit more reflections of the water. And maybe make up some brighter ones actually. I don't think I've got, yeah, I think I want to get, yep, I'll make up a brighter reflection. For me, for you, for me and for you. Now, just mix in a good bit of liquid here. That will be nice and dry for me tomorrow, hopefully. To come along and do whatever it is I need to do. If I need to tone it or, oh no, I need to tone it and need to do this and need to do that. Well, let me see here. Oh, that's a lot. Oh. Look at that. I can work with that. Now the liquid makes that far more loose to work with. So just, you see the way I'm angling this? If I angle it like that, it'll get what's beaded up there and it'll spread all over it. But I'm just angling it straight on until it stops producing, and then I'll lower the angle a little bit more, and as you can see, it produces a little much more. And then if I go completely flat, which I'm not going to at the minute, there we go. Now, just wipe a little bit of that off, and let's put some up in here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's not so bad now. It's almost pure white by the looks of it, but it isn't. If you look in the palette, it's not even close to pure white. But in contrast to what's up, it kind of looks it, doesn't it? You think that that's what pure white. I'm just going to work this one in. Bada bum bada bim bada la la loo, na I honestly don't think that I'm done here, and I'll probably come back tomorrow and finish it off. But for the time being, I think I might be done. But I'm unsure. I kind of wanted to do this in the one day, but it's very hard to walk away and leave it when you think it's unfinished. I forgot about these tree reflections here. And just put that in now. Nice and soft in here, just. You see that now? All right. I am unsure whether I'm finished or not, but I'm just going to have a wee. I'm going to brush. Just going to have a wee go at the edges of the canopies at the top of the painting here, just along here. I think for me they're a bit too. They're a bit too straight. They are. You need a little bit of variety. You see? Now, just as a little thing here, I just want to put in a little bit of trees in here. Let me see this here. Just maybe a bit brighter than that. Okay. Not sharp enough. This brush isn't sharp enough. So let's get a little bigger brush of some sorts. Let's see. Just using them, just thinning out what's on the canvas. I'm not sure how much of this you can see. I don't think it's very much, I must say. But it is there nonetheless. You'll see it in the photograph a bit better. Alright. But done for now. Oh, I forgot to put the base of the trees in. It's fine. A little bit more here. Oh, sometimes. Right, now let's put the base of the trees in. A little bit of lawn color up in here. Well, let's see, this here will be where the land is getting in between the trees. Right, let me see. Just create the edge of this, and it'll look as if it has a bit of a reflection Sometimes I just talk. Right, I'll tell you what, folks, I'm going to put a little bit more light in it, in the tree areas here, and then we'll leave it until tomorrow. See where we are with it. A little bit of light, just nice and bright as well. I can always, if I'm coming back tomorrow, I can always now tone it down, knock it back a bit, if needs be. So I'm creating a shape, a nice round ovally shape with what I'm putting up here. Trying to be random in where I'm placing them, not always possible because of the way the mind works, but trying to be random. See, I don't like that now. Don't like that very much. So I'll just connect a few of these, make them slightly larger. I thought it was too too many small pieces of it, I suppose is a way to put it. One here, good one here. All right, okay. For the time being, I think I'm going to call this a day. Every time I want to walk away from it, I'm seeing something else that needs work on. So let's get some canopies in here. In here, folks. That's the thing about not having really a reference photo. You're just, as you're making it up as you go along, you all of a sudden you go, oh, that needs doing, and that needs doing, this needs doing, that needs doing. And the next thing you know, takes a while for you to walk away from it. There now, I'm just creating a little bit of canopy up in here. Maybe a bit brighter at the edges of it. Just, let me see, just in there. See, now you can see that. I just knock some of that back a bit. Nearly there for today. Right, I'm going to make a decision. I'm going to walk away. I'll see you with this one tomorrow, hopefully. You know what? I think that this is done. I think it might be done. Anyway, right, that'll do for now. See you soon, folks. All the best.